Hello everyone and welcome to I'll Be Sewing. My name is Gina. For this year, this will be the first video. I really want to apologize. I hadn't done a video in a while. I hadn't had very much time. And since this is going to be the first year for this year, I decided to keep something very simple. I'm going to show you how to do a simple sunglass case. I know I've done a sunglass case before, but this is a different one that we're going to be doing. And this is a sunglass case that takes very little material, also is very easy. So I'm going to give you two options. One that's going to be like just a simple, and one that's going to have this little flap and a little pocket. Here I didn't put my snap yet, but you can also put a little snap here to keep it close. And this is what it looks, has one here and has an extra pocket on the outside. So I'm going to show you how to do both. The simple one that should only really has very little bit sewing, and it finishes very fast. And then I'm going to give you all the measurements for this little flap and also the little pocket if you want to add that to your sunglass case. So all you're gonna need for this sunglass case is two strips of 5 inches by 44 of your fabric. So I already went ahead and cut my pieces, so I have them here. So I have this one here that I pick here that I'm going to show you just to do this simple one. And then the one that I picked to do with the pockets and the flap, I'm going to use this cute popcorn fabric that I have here with the red to do the flap like this one. So for the simple one, what we're going to do, we're going to be cutting from the two strips that you cut the 5 inches, you're going to cut 5 by 16 for the outside fabric. And this fabric, or this type of project, works better with the fabric that has no direction. However, if it does have a direction, the piece that you have that's 16 inches, you're going to cut it about 17, cut it in half, and then flip the direction. So when you fold it, your fabric, both directions will be side up, because the top of your sunglass case is going to be here. Okay, so for the simple one, so our main is 5 inches from here to here and 16 inches this way. And for our lining, we're going to need 5 inches also this way, and this way we're going to need 18 and a half. So, and then what are you going to do? You're going to go ahead, so put this top here, right sides together, this top here and this top here. You're going to go ahead and put right sides together and sew across 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. You're going to go to this side. As you notice, my fabric here is bigger, but you're going to bring that to the top, and you're going to go ahead and sew a line across. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sew those. I'll be right back. So as soon as you sew this part here and this part here, you see that my lining is bigger. What are you going to do? You're going to go like this. Bring the lining all to one side. Match your seam here. Put a pin there. And match the seam there. Let's see if I can show you. So you're going to be matching the black with the black right there. You can put a pin right through the seam, as we normally do with quilting. We're going to mark that. Also this one here, we're going to do the same thing on the side. So side to side. Okay, you can pin this side here and this side here. You're going to mark an opening in your lining around here. Mark a little opening. This side you're going to sew it all. This side you're going to sew to your marking and to here. And we're going to leave just a little more here in the middle to turn it inside out. As soon as you sew that seam there and that there, you turn it to the right side and your sunglass case is finished. Of course, you're going to have to turn it to the right side and put everything together. I'll show you in a minute. So I'm going to leave this one here ready to sew, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you the other one that we're going to do the pocket and the flap. So for the outside fabric of the next one, again, the outside is going to be the inside is going to be 18.5 by 5 inches, and our outside fabric, it's going to be 5 inches by 16, exactly the same thing. For our pocket, we have 13 inches by 5, and what we're going to do, we're going to put it together like this, and we're going to do a seam in the bottom and joining the bottom to make it into a tube. All right, that's our pocket. And for our flap, I have 5 inches by 7 inches, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to go like this, put it together like that. And as you see, I forgot to mention, your main fabric, the outside of your main fabric that you're using for your outside, should be lined with some interfacing. Here I use a Pellon product, just a fusible fleece, but you can use any other interfacing that you would like. You can also use batting and quilt it and then trim it to those sizes. So my pocket here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it together like that, and I'm going to fold this in half, and with some scissors, I'm just going to go ahead and round my corners a little bit. You can use maybe a cup or something that you have around to round those corners if you're not comfortable doing it this way. And then you end up with something like this. You're going to go ahead and you're going to sew this about a little bit more than a half inch. I would say 3/4 of an inch in, and you're going to do a seam around here, and you're going to leave the top open. Okay, so remember, you're going to be sewing this all the way around like this, about, I would say about 3/4 of an inch, a little bit more than half. And I'm gonna go do mine, and I'll show you in a second. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my pocket and my flap, and I'll show you in a minute. So I sew it around, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and trim this closer to my seam because I don't want all this bulk. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn this to the right side. And that's my flap. I use black thread, but try to use maybe the same color because so it's not visible here, right? I did black so you guys could see better what I did, but try to use the same color thread. It will look a lot nicer. All right, so and then you can go ahead and do a top stitch around here. And this is the pocket. I make it into a tube. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it to this side. I'm going to go ahead and press it on my seam. And up here, what I have this part here, you can do a little bit of a top stitch there. And what I want you to do now is your main fabric that's been interfaced with fusible fleece, you're going to go ahead and find the middle. You're going to fold it, and we're going to find the middle. And okay, so that's my middle. So I'm going to get my pocket piece after I do my top stitch here. Okay, I'm going to move it just about 1/2 inch from the bottom. So I'm going to put it about 1/2 inch from my bottom here. I'm going to put that on top. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and do a top stitch here to secure the pocket in place. And you can also secure it here, the sides really close to the edge. As soon as you top stitch your flap, you're going to go ahead and you're going to add the flap. You're going to find the middle here. Let's see, I'll find the middle. and you're gonna find the middle of the flap, but don't forget to do your top stitch first. And if you want to put a magnetic snap, this is when you would put it. You would put it right now. Okay, I'm just gonna use one of those clips. So I'm not gonna be using a magnetic snap, so I'm gonna go ahead and put mine. So I'm gonna find the middle also of this one. Okay, there's my middle, and with my middle, and I'm gonna put it there. So I should have in both sides here enough for my seam allowance, and in here I'm just gonna do 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. All right, when I close this off. Right now I'm just gonna go ahead and secure this here to the top here. My pocket, I'm gonna sew it here and secure it to the sides. I'm gonna do my top stitch around here and also my top stitch here before I attach all of these to my main fabric, my old side of my sunglass case. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do these and I'll be right back. So now I have my front piece that I attach my flap to one side and the pocket here. I secure it here on the sides and sew the bottom here, and it was about 1/2 inch from the middle of these two pieces. So now I'm going to do the same that I did on this one here. I'm going to go ahead and attach this one here to this top and this one to here, and as we know our lining is slightly bigger, we're going to go ahead and sew this here. Just make sure when you sew you do 1/4 of an inch, and you need to miss the flap here. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and sew that there and sew this one here. So I attached it there and attach it there and attach it there. So now I end up with a tube like this. If you turn it to the right sides, this is what you would see. It's the same with this one here that we had here. That was the simple one. So we're gonna go ahead now and put these apart, lining to one side, main fabric to the other side. We're gonna go ahead and match these just like we did here on this one here. We're gonna go ahead and match this here. I'm gonna put a pin. So I'm gonna match my seams here. If you want to put a little piece of fabric with like a little handle, you can attach it in here now. You would have to attach it now before. I'm not going to do it on this one. I want to keep it nice and simple. So I'm going to go ahead here and do that. And now we're going to do the same thing. One side we're going to sew it all like I mentioned here. One side all. This other side we're going to only leave the lining. I'll put it both to the same side so you understand. So this is my main, this is my main, my lining, my lining. I'm gonna go ahead one side and sew it all the way. The other side, on my lining, I'm just gonna leave about, I would say about 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches to turn it inside out. And I'm gonna do the same here. So I don't get confused, I'm gonna go ahead and put a pin where I want my opening to be. So about that. And I'm gonna go ahead and sew these and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, I sewed them. I left them my opening on the lining and my opening on the lining. Now I'm gonna go ahead, just trim a little bit at the corners here, just slightly, so you'll have a nicer corner. And as you see, I use a small seam allowance. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this inside out. Let's have a look. Gonna straighten it out. That's the simple one without pockets. Okay, you're gonna go ahead and close your lining here. You're gonna go ahead and close it here, do your seam there, and then you're gonna turn this to the inside, and you're gonna leave a little bit of the black poking out, just like that. You're gonna put a little plastic snap if you want, and your sunglass case is done. It's very simple and fast and great for a beginner. So this one is done. Very simple. As you see, this is the same idea. Very simple. I fussy cut some of the owls and put one to each side, and I did this one here. Now let's see this one here with the flap. So you're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Trim a little bit those corners. And I think here I left a smaller opening, but it's okay, it should still turn. You're gonna go to the just turn it. Same thing. Fix those up. You can go ahead and close your opening here, or before you do that, maybe you can fix this side. I think I'm just going to use my scissors to poke that corner a little bit. There we go. There we go. Turn it to the right side. There's my pocket. You can always use a pin and try to, if the corners are not completely out, you can poke them out. Okay, you're going to do the same thing with the lining. I'm going to put it in and fix it up the best you can. Leave some of the red poking. And there's my pocket here that I have here. And now here I can put one of those plastic snaps like I did here. And I add a little handmade tag, but you don't have to. And there you go. Your little sunglass cases are done. Very easy and fast. And you can make one of these for all your friends. Well, I hope you enjoyed this simple project. We'll see you next time for another sewing project. Have a great day, everyone.